So here we have it, the Carlinkit Tbox Max, a full Android system to not only, like I mentioned, transform your existing wired CarPlay vehicle into a wireless one, but also allowing for Android Auto connection if you do have an Android phone, but your car only has CarPlay, along with running Android 13 for that really, really cool entertainment experience in your vehicle. So the device itself, very, very small, fits in the palm of your hand. It has a micro SD card slot for further expansion if you wanted to download any videos or anything like that, a SIM card slot for that wireless connection if you didn't want to use your phone's hotspot, and then USB-C to actually hook up to that wired connection in your vehicle. And overall, the device looks really nice. It's got some RGB, which you already saw, which is pretty cool. And then we also get a USB-C to USB-C connection, along with a USB-C to USB-A connection, depending on what is in your car, along with our little manual so that we know exactly how to set this thing up. But it's extremely simple. So to start things off, we're just going to plug in our Tbox Max into our Jeep Wrangler. So this car only comes with the wired version of CarPlay. It does not come with wireless. So this is the perfect solution to transform not only that wired solution into a wireless one, but I also do have both an iPhone and an Android. So we'll test out both AutoKit with CarPlay and with Android Auto, and then we'll of course test out the Android 13 ecosystem to see how that all functions. But it's pretty quick off the boot, but we do have to restart the device. The device will auto restart itself in order to do the screen calibration. Every car is going to have a slightly different size screen, so the device is smart enough to figure out what size the screen is, what the resolution is, and then transform the output to match whatever the screen has. So we boot into the Android kind of 13 overall ecosystem, which is extremely simple to navigate, just like you'd be at navigating kind of like an Android tablet. And we, of course, can connect to our AutoKit or our Tbox Max device, which shows up as AutoKit Ambient. And that allows us to then not only just have direct access for Bluetooth controls, like playing music over Bluetooth or phone calls and messages over Bluetooth, but then we'll, of course, allow for CarPlay as well. And then because I don't have a SIM card to plug into the Tbox Max, I'm just going to show you guys connecting to your hotspot. So extremely simple. If you're at your house, you can even connect to your home Wi-Fi. With this, connect to the Wi-Fi, type in your password, and it's like you're connecting, again, an Android tablet to a hotspot. So in order to populate or open up Apple CarPlay, you just have to launch AutoKit, which is the app within the Android ecosystem, and then it immediately shows up on my phone to enable the device to use CarPlay. That's a CarPlay-enabled device that once we connect to it, we're going to enable all the CarPlay features. And I'm going to run this through at real speed so you guys can see how long the connection process takes. It does take a little bit for it actually to get connected, but once you're connected, there's like zero issues in terms of latency, but then also any failures to disconnect or like, it disconnecting automatically and trying to reconnect, things like that. That didn't happen at all using this device for like a week, 2 weeks. None of those issues. It just takes a little bit to get that initial connection going, especially, if your car is off and you turn it back on the next day or whatever. It's going to take around, 30 seconds, 45 seconds to get the thing connected. But once you're connected, like I mentioned, there's very little latency. Everything loads up really, really quick. Maybe a little bit of delay there. That's just because of the news app. But everything else, like if you're using Waze, Google Maps, Spotify, Audible, everything's super quick to populate and download, and scrolling is super smooth. Like very, very little latency. If at all, like I couldn't really tell the difference between wired versus wireless using the Tbox Max. So yeah, overall, a very, very cool experience using this device. And from a sound perspective, overall, like again, it sounds really, really good. Playing wirelessly over your phone, can't really tell.
Here's your daily drive for Thursday. Hey, Spotifyers. Click or tap the banner to listen to Christmas classics. Timeless, heartwarming classics from 1940 to 1980 for the holiday season. Brought to you by Pluto TV. Watch now on the Pluto TV app on your smart TV, smartphone, or tablet, or at pluto.tv.
And of course, it acts just like every other CarPlay system. Music will keep playing in the background. You can swap into Waze, scroll around there. Again, everything just really smooth, very, obvious that it's working as expected. No crazy issues in terms of the connection or losing connection or anything like that. So let's bounce back into the car interface, which is back into our Android 13 ecosystem. And now we can really test out the Android 13 stuff, which is, YouTube, Netflix. If you want to download other apps like Disney Plus or anything where you'd want to stream content, you can, of course, download it onto here. Now, as soon as you connect CarPlay or you connect Android Auto from your device, it's going to boot you off of Wi-Fi. And this is to, one, kind of ensure that while you're driving, you're not using any of these features. But as soon as you enable the Wi-Fi system, it's going to boot you off of CarPlay, boot you off of Android Auto, and then you can enable the hotspot, connect to it, and then, yeah, we're browsing YouTube right now. Super, super cool, super simple. We'll, of course, pull up the channel and see how it works or how it looks in terms of running a video. So we'll populate my last video just to see what it looks like and how it sounds. And then everything in terms of speed, reliability, scrubbing through content. We'll test all that out now to see how it works. What's up, guys? So today we're going to take a look at whether it makes more sense to build a gaming PC of 50. Ever since I posted the video documenting my first ever NAS build, it was a true NAS server inside of core material turned out well, which is awesome. I mean, yeah, that's all. On over to our backup drive. Now we're going to select a schedule. So we can automatically run backups, or we can run them manually, and we can select when we want them to run. So let's say we want them to. So there we have it. Like, everything worked super flawlessly. I'm gonna try to open Netflix. It's not gonna work because I'm gonna have to log in and everything. But overall, like, as you can see, you can have an experience with any of the apps you would typically stream from directly on the display within your vehicle. No need to have your phone out. It's a much bigger screen. Maybe not in this vehicle, but in a lot of other cars, a bigger screen. But now it's time to test out the actual Android Auto functionality, which is as simple as connecting your Android device, giving it all the permissions that it needs. There was some funky stuff with the Android Auto kind of like features and how it worked with the car. And I just think it's because the car wasn't familiar with how the ecosystem is supposed to work, because it's a CarPlay enabled car. It doesn't have any Android Auto functionality, but like clicking was off. Like, I had to click a little bit to the left of every button in order to get the buttons to work. I tried restarting the device a couple times. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. It was a little hit or miss. So I think that's one area that could use a little bit of attention from Carlinkit just to get that functionality working properly. But if you're using CarPlay, it works flawlessly. There's just that little issue with Android Auto, but you do get like the full functionality of using Hey Google and all of that in order to get your car to pull up the information that you want, all hands free.
Hey Google, give me some news.
Here's the latest news.